We got Trevin Giles back here on the program, who hasn't been in the octagon in a while, but he's still got that undefeated 11-0 record. Trevin, how are you today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. It's been a while, like I said, since we've seen you in the cage. Of course, December of last year, 2017, was the last time we saw you compete. And I know you've had a lot of stuff going on, but first I wanted to say congratulations. I know you got married this past year.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
So I got to know, were you more nervous for the wedding or more nervous for one of your fights? How does that compare?
It was definitely the wedding. Yeah, it's a big commitment.
No, for sure. How was the planning and all that? Because I know, at least when I got married, I let my wife sort of handle most of it and just, to take it on. But was it stressful? How was that whole experience leading up to it?
It was okay for me. Like you said, my wife kind of took care of everything too. But we got with some pretty good providers and stuff. So they took care of a lot of stuff. They helped out plan the wedding, and it's pretty good. They're called, I think it was Palazzo, but they were pretty good. They were pretty good. They helped us out with a lot of stuff, and they were a pretty good price too. So we were both happy with it.
That's excellent. And of course, the other big news is that, you're going to be, or you have been, I should say, this last year, been, involved in the police academy. I know that was something you were studying when we talked, even when you were with LFA. How was that, how's that been going over this last year? Because I know that's what's been keeping you out of the octagon.
It's been going good. It sucked, not being able to go in there and fight and watching everybody else fight and progress and stuff like that. Some of the newer guys out there that are doing really good. So it kind of sucks sitting by and just watching that. But the academy and everything's been going good for me. It was good to actually finish the 6 months of the academy. Now I just got a few more months to do as a probationary officer, and then in April I'll be able to fight again.
That's good. And how has the UFC been throughout this whole process? Because I'm sure you had to tell them, hey, look, I got stuff to take care of outside the cage. How were they with that, all that?
They were fine with that. They were just basically like, all right, when you're ready, just hit us up and we'll get it going.
And how often would you say you're in contact with the UFC?
I wouldn't say I'm in every once in a while. Every once in a while, I'll get in contact. They've still been coming over and drug testing me and everything. So,
okay. How often? When was the last time you've been tested?
I got tested a couple of days ago.
Okay, so you're still in the pool. So I guess if something did come up and you were free, you could go take care of it, because you're basically aiming for next year as far as you returning, like you said, in the spring.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That makes sense. What has been the biggest challenge being a police officer?
The biggest challenge has just been juggling that with training, just because we've been, as probationary police officers, whatever we take the schedule of our trainers. So the schedule is constantly changing from phase to phase. So just mixing in my training has been kind of tough. As far as on the job, it's really just learning everything, learning the process with, like DWIs and DOAs, which is, people dead on arrival and stuff like that. A bunch of paperwork and just a lot of stuff to learn.
And I hear there's a lot of writing too, because you have to write up tickets and things like that. Is that sort of the most annoying part of the job? That's what I hear.
Well, we don't necessarily. There are certain situations where we have to write up tickets. You don't have to write up tickets for everything. So most of the ticket writing is to our discretion. So that's up to the person. I guess the thing that takes the most time is just writing reports. Everything takes a report. So that's the main thing that takes up a lot of time.
Being a police officer is a very stressful job. I know one of the facets that comes with it. Have you experienced any racism at all so far, just, with what you've had to deal with just being an African-American?
No, not yet. I haven't faced that. I expected to at least, I expected to get at least a little bit of, heat coming from citizens just because of the uniform and everything. I haven't even gotten that yet. We're showing a lot of love down here in Houston, and it's kind of different than what you look at on the news and stuff like that. We get a lot of love down here.
That's good. So, because I was going to say too, I'm sure there's fellow African Americans who aren't too happy with the police these days. So there's that as well that you've had to deal with, I'm sure. But you're saying you haven't got a lot of it, a lot of love is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. I haven't gotten much hate or anything like that from anybody.
Okay, that's good. Have you been watching the fights at all? I know it's difficult with your schedule, but are you maybe going on Fight Pass, catching up on stuff? Have you been keeping an eye on and everything?
Yeah. I don't really get to watch the full fights of everything, just because of the schedule and everything. But I'm always keeping in touch, especially anytime I hear anything crazy that happens. I've been keeping up with the big fights and stuff. So I got to see who was it? Cormier and Stipe. Then the last one was who was the last one? The last big one.
The last pay-per-view would have been, it was Cormier and Derek Lewis. That was the last pay-per-view. And then I guess the last card we just had was Ponzinibbio and Neil Magny. But yeah, it's tough to keep track, even as someone who's, doesn't have a full-time job, to watch a card every weekend. It's difficult. So I don't blame you, man. It's probably just only been able to catch sort of the bigger fights, like you were saying.
Yeah, everything that just pops up, anything that'll just pop up on, Instagram or social media and stuff like that, you kind of, I kind of catch up with that way. But other than that, I don't really go looking.
Anyone impressed you in the middleweight division? We've had a lot of changes in the 185-pound class since you've been gone.
Yeah, man. To me, honestly, the guy that's the most impressive to me is the I hate to say his name wrong.
Israel Adesanya?
The style bender. Yeah. I like him. He's kind of I like what he's doing. He's pretty good.
And with that said, is there anyone you're looking to fight in your return? Again, you have that undefeated record. I'm sure you're a guy looking to climb up the ranks and get back in there as soon as possible. Or you just leave that up to your coaches and manager?
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody really in particular. To me, I just take everything fight by fight. I don't really care. I don't really care who I fight. It could be the best guy at middleweight or whoever. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm just glad to come in there, be able to fight, and just have some fun. So it doesn't matter to me. Not until I start getting up to title contention or something.
Okay. And in terms of the division itself and everything like that, are you like how are you going to navigate being a police officer and fighting as well? Have you figured that out yet in terms of your schedule?
So it's manageable. Once I get off of off of probation, that's when I'll be able to manage it a little bit more. I got a lot of hours that I can burn and stuff. So taking the time off to be able to fight and do what I need to do won't be an issue.
Okay. And when is probation over? Do you know?
It is over April 2nd.
Okay, gotcha. So you're looking for a fight right around there, then I imagine, because then it'll be more manageable. Or would you want to get have time to do like a full training camp in between there?
I would have the time. I could make the time. I have a lot of guys that I can reach out to and that can work around my schedule. So whenever I have off time, I'll be able to still get a good training camp and everything. Yeah, so that shouldn't be an issue. I'd have a good training camp. I wouldn't have to wait. I don't think I'd have to wait all the way till April 2nd until I can actually start a training camp.
The middleweight title is going to be defended next year. Robert Whittaker is going to be fighting Calvin Gastelum. Just your pick in that fight as a fellow middleweight.
It's kind of hard to choose. Right now, I would go with the champ. But Gastelum's not a joke. I mean, he's fought some tough guys and he's got some knockout power. So you never really know with him. But I'll go with the champ for this because he's showing a lot of resilience and stuff too. I mean, Romero's not a slouch at all, and they had a great fight. So I don't know. I'll go with the champ.
What are your plans for Thanksgiving?
Heading to my. I'm spending time down here. I got family in San Antonio, but we'll be down here with my wife's family, and just spending some time with them.
Okay, that's good. How has it been with your wife throughout this whole process? Being a police officer, working weird hours. How have you been able to manage that?
Oh, it's been good, man. It's been. I've actually been kind of blessed. Starting off with the probationary period, I started off having work in the morning, so I'd be able to have the evenings off and I'd be able to see my wife and everything. Right now has been kind of the hardest because I'm working evenings, so I'm kind of in the middle there. When I come home, my wife's usually sleeping or something. But then I'll be working nights next, the week after next. And I'll be able to see my wife like all morning or whatever. And then hopefully my trainer will have hopefully he'll have a schedule with 3 days off. So that's what I have now. Maybe work a power shift and get 3 days off. So that's been the best.
And last question, sort of on that note, we talked about Thanksgiving, we talked about the crazy schedule. How's the weight right now? Because I know oftentimes when you're not, training for a fight, sometimes the weight gets up there a little bit. How have you been with all that?
Yeah, for a second my weight started to go up. I got up to 212. But I've been slowly bringing it back down now. So walking around 205 now, a little bit more of a healthier weight for me.
Well, Trevin, I really appreciate the time. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great holiday season. We look forward to your return, which will probably be in spring. But in the meantime, best of luck with the rest of the probationary period. And in the meantime, if you got any social media or sponsors you want to plug, by all means, the floor is yours.
Really, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's been sticking with me. Everybody that's waiting on me for me to return. Everybody that's been training with me and everything. Really, just everybody that's been helping me out with training and the support through this whole waiting to fight again, and everybody that supports the Houston Police Department. Just appreciate you guys.